Alright, you guys might have just missed this, but there is AI generated spokesperson being used in Ukraine for war right now. If that doesn't shock you a little bit, if that doesn't show you how real this is, then I don't know. Maybe you really are under a rock because this is different. Nobody wars like this, and no one has ever gone to war using this type of technology. So in this video, we're going to check out this news outlet. This is called First Post, and they are kind of like an international news outlet that is based out of India. So they got that little Indian bias. But if you are just looking for news that has no kind of American filter on it, and these guys actually provide a really good source for it. And I would say for the most part, you just get raw news, uncut, and most importantly, you get both sides of whatever it is the news. In this case, these AI generated spokesperson. Check this out. This is crazy.
What does it take to become a government spokesperson? If you're in Ukraine, you don't even have to be human. Welcome to the future. We would like you to meet Victoria.
Шановні представники ЗМІ та громадськості, вітаю вас.
Okay. Victoria doesn't look very Eastern European. Let me check the map real quick on where Ukraine is. Yeah, that I don't know if I remember Ukrainians looking like they're from some Arabic country or a mixed breed, but this is not a Eastern European looking lady, but let her continue.
My name is Victoria Shi. I was created by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine with the use of AI technology in order to quickly and efficiently inform you about consular issues. I'm a digital person, meaning the text you hear has not been read by a real person.
Now, that's very important to indicate there that she is not a real person and it's not being read by a real person, right? So you are getting news that you are listening to if you're in Ukraine right now that is updating you about what's going on between your country and the bad guys over there in Russia being inside that war situation, right? You are getting that news read to you from an AI. That is not real. But check this out. They continue.
Artificial intelligence did it.
Не зачитувала реальна людина.
She overclarified herself already.
And that there is the reference artist for that spokesperson is a Ukrainian artist, I believe. And that's actually very uncanny there. They look very close. I mean, for a reference, that's crazy looking. I mean, where does this go if you're an artist? But that's something we're going to dive into a little bit later in the video because the news lady questions the same thing. All right, check this out.
But let's explain. This is Ukraine's first digital spokesperson. She looks human. Her likeness is based on a Ukrainian singer. She gesticulates with her hands and moves her head while speaking.
Now, that's something that if you were just watching this, you just happened to click on this video and you saw that spokesperson talking without even looking at the title or anything, you might have just gone, what is this news about? Right? It's got to be something about some war. You're not even going to question that person because the movements are 100% human-like. I mean, look at the hands crossed over, the neck movement, the nodding, right? The serious tone and the eyes, lips, like the blinking, like it's a real video. It looks like an actual person talking, but it's not real. This is not real. That's not a real person talking to us. That's something that was just created. Like it's like machine. You know what I mean? It's like you don't really think about that as you're watching it. Even me, I'm around this stuff and I pay attention to a lot of this news so I can, be able to bring to you guys if you don't have time to track this stuff down. But I can even fall for that. Like I'm watching this, and the more I watch it, I keep forgetting that it's not real. Like imagine if you haven't been paying attention to this and you're just going about your day in Ukraine. Next thing you know, you're getting a news update and this lady, and no one says anything about it being AI. You just kind of move on about your day until somebody goes, "Oh, did you know that thing is AI?" You would have no clue. I mean, look at this movement.
She seems almost real. But she's been created by artificial intelligence. Her image is AI generated. What she says will be written by humans. So hopefully she won't hallucinate during a press conference and turn into a viral TikTok.
Now, she took the light way out in that example she said here because it's very important that they are having an AI to read the news, but more importantly, there's somebody typing the news. So there's still a person behind it. And that's what they indicated in that last post. And her example said, oh, we won't have her say something that turns her into a viral TikTok. No, there is something worse that can happen, right? What if somebody takes that same AI generated person and generates it in, let's say, some Arabic country or some South American country and have it say something else, something bad, something awful, you know what I mean? And like get people angry and pitchforks and mobs. Like, what if she has that use? What if somebody else has that use? Like, if it's open game now, it's being used in war, something very public, something very dark that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Just think about 10 of your friends and how many of them ever mentioned Ukraine or Russia in the past month or, 3 months. Not that many, right? Not a lot of people like to talk about war and stuff like that. But imagine you being told about war by some AI.
But that aside, what is her purpose? Victoria will make official statements on behalf of the Foreign Ministry of Ukraine. The government says this will save them time and resources.
Now, the government saying it's going to save them time and resources. I can translate that for you. We are going to be eliminating some jobs, right? That's no camera crew, no news lady, no whatever. And we're just gonna typing in whatever because now the government is able to technically reply to your tweet 10 times faster and directly too. They can actually speak it out. Right now, imagine somebody's talking bad about the government, which happens in every country, no matter if it's banned or not. You can actually reply as the government really quickly because I don't need to get a camera crew ready. I don't need to get a news anchor out there to pay. I don't need to write anything. I just need to have this AI scan whatever is being said and just reply to each person or reply to as a whole in just one video. It can get pretty dark.
And some people can apparently relate to this sentiment, like British singer FKA Twigs. She's orchestrating the future as well.
Now, hold on. She just transitioned here to a different story. I know the AI person looks similar to the story she just transitioned, but she's going into another British singer who is using this AI tool a different way. Something that I would say is highly frowned upon by the music and artist community in general. I talk about it in one of these videos here that you can go check out on the channel as well that artists do not want to talk about this AI stuff because they see it as a threat right now. But this artist is not. Check this out.
Several artists have repeatedly complained about AI, about how it is being used to steal their likeness and exploit their identity and livelihood.
And we all heard about how the artists are, putting in those complaints and, the whole fake stream thing and all that stuff. But the AI Drake and how long is it going to go? Remember the Tupac and the Super Bowl that happened? I think there was an AI. I don't know if there's a Super Bowl concert. I can't remember which one, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that artists have been complaining about. And I think the story's starting to change a little bit.
Now, FKA Twigs is changing the game.
As a future-facing artist, new technologies are an exciting tool that can be used to express deeper emotions, create fantasy worlds, and touch the hearts of many people.
So Twigs is creating a deepfake of herself. This will be an AI-generated image. It will look like the singer. It will be trained in her personality. It will have her voice and tone of speaking.
Right. Now, they took that to a new level really quickly because think about the implications of this, right? This is a famous person. I mean, I'll be honest, I probably haven't heard too many FKA Twig music. I mean, just because of being in the US alone, a lot of filters before we can get to a lot of the British music and stuff like that. But I, would understand that she's popular if the hearing is that important. I mean, look at where she's speaking. And if we look back on this moment, like 10, 15, 20 years from now, when kids are studying about when did artists first begin embracing AI and actually using it to monetize themselves as an extension of themselves, this speech is going to be shown. Like her speech and this story is going to be super important because she's kind of in groundbreaking moment here. And if you're like an artist that's getting a lot of streams, like I know a lot of artists like Oren Major, guys like that, that get millions of streams, but are not, popular in the sense that, Drake is, for example, right now. you can take this and be groundbreaking and be like the second artist to do this. Or, you can be in the space where there's low competition and use it in the manner she's using it. Because if you just wait a couple minutes, she's going to talk about how she's going to outsource some of the things that she does as an artist.
And Twigs will use this deepfake for public interaction, mostly with fans and journalists, so she can focus on her music. Basically, Twigs has outsourced socializing. She will be a legend among introverts.
Wow. So outsourcing socializing. Okay. We gotta run that back a second, because that was pretty fast how she said that. Outsourcing socializing is a concept that we don't really understand yet until this just starts happening to us, right? Because right now, if you see an AI bot on Twitter, for example, right, immediately you report it or whatever, and there's always all these bot cleanups, and everyone wants to avoid bot. But this is now an AI famous person as a bot. Do you still ignore it? You see what I'm saying? Do we still find it annoying if I like this artist, I follow this artist, and I want to have a conversation with this artist, but I know they're busy on tour or in the studio or whatever. But now I have access to them, and it's their likeness. It sounds like them. It's their thoughts. It's how they reply. It's their mannerisms, how they blink. Everything is just right to the T. It's just not the them. But I can talk to them. I can ask them questions. They can make custom songs. Like, you see where this is going. This is opens the door for a whole new market of yourself. Now, this is a concept I haven't seen talked about a lot in YouTube, because everyone's still in that, either you're in that fear of AI is going to take our jobs, mob, or you're in just that this is kind of child's toys. I'm not really paying attention to it because it's still very, very limited in a lot of ways, crowd, right? Or you're in that, I kind of pay attention to it, but I don't think it's going to, be like the internet or the iPhone or something like that, because you haven't seen what we've been primed for. Now, think about Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these social media things that have been free to us. The only reason they were free is because we are the product, right? If something is free, you are the product. You are the thing that they are harvesting from. Now, AI is allowing us to harvest from ourselves. If you think about it, just having a knowledge of something right now, right? If you know how to play the piano, for example, or the guitar, right? Technically, you can record a video and teach how to play four strings. You can just go, hey, this is how you play this string, this string, this string, this string, and send it out. Somebody is going to watch that video and go, okay, this is how I play this string. You just shared knowledge that you knew, right, from somewhere you learned, and you've got it in there, and you were able to share that knowledge that millions of people, right? Just think about that. You are the product. You are the best source of whatever you know. If I know how to cook this whatever meal, right, in this with these kind of ingredients, I can put that on a video, and somebody with the same type of ingredients in their house is going to go, wow, I've just used this video and I just learned something. Like, there's the endless products is like ridiculous. We can share so much knowledge with each other right now than we ever could in history, right? Because you'd have to travel to all these countries. Like, I don't have to learn how to speak Arabic or Turkish or Yiddish or whatever to explain how to use a laptop, for example, right? Because I can do it in English and have it be translated, and you can watch this video in Turkish. That is knowledge being shared in an endless fashion. And if you're an artist, you can subsidize, you can outsource your public appearances. You could not even do that part and just focus on being an artist, or focus on being on tour, or take a long vacation and have an AI in the booth. You can have an AI talking to your media people, talking to your fans, and you can have an AI at your concerts, i.e., the Tupac appearance. Check this out.
Now, both the examples are completely different. The first comes from a government, the second from an artist, but both have one thing in common. Humans are delegating work to AI avatars. Is this what the future looks like? You see, AI has become part of the fabric of modern life. AI is writing essays, powering your toothbrush, and helping you snore lesser. If you landed on Vantage after a Google search, it is thanks to AI, so it is still very exciting. AI can be so good at things, many fear it is going to snag their jobs. But experts are not too worried. They say that AI may never replace humans. if we learn to do one thing: master the art of delegation. Simply put, this means figuring out what we need to do ourselves and what is best left to machines.
Now, this is an important part of this news segment, and I think is underrated and a lot of people don't pay attention to is the fact that she's doing this story on AI generated spokesperson being used in war, but she's showing a positive aspect of it right now. Right now, if you think about how we get news like this in the US, for example, it gets filtered through one of the left or right leaning channels, whatever your CNN, NBC, whatever, one of these channels that clearly have a strong bias in like how they want to present it, you might just get the negative of AI generated spokesperson, right? You're not going to get the opportunities of what it could do for you. You're just going to get this is bad. Bad actors are going to use this. People stealing your identity. Yada yada yada. That is all you're going to get in this type of story. So that's crazy to pay attention to.
We need to delegate tasks to AI to stay ahead of the curve. After all, AI is already brilliant at that as well. AI is delegating tasks to humans like a pro, but worry not, humans are catching up. A K-pop star has a digital twin that is never too busy to talk to fans.
Now, you see what I'm talking about. Look at the portal that this just opened, right? As an artist, you can now always be in contact with your fans without ever being in contact with your fans. I don't know why we're going to accept it, but I feel like it's going to be accepted because a lot of people are still fighting bots on Twitter, etc. These fake Instagram accounts are very obvious. If the girl's got the same hairstyle or whatever it is that you're looking at, I've seen some of those fake Instagram accounts. But for some reason, if Drake creates one of these that talks like him, replies like him, and can have all the mannerisms, or whatever, people are going to accept it. People are going to download it if it's a thing, and people are going to follow it if it's on Twitter or whatever. You can always ask in questions, and it can talk to you specifically. You're going to follow this. I think this is going to be accepted. This is going to be adopted, and it's probably going to come really quick. Pause.
Influencers will soon join the club. India, China, Greece, Kuwait, and Taiwan have lifelike AI anchors. The mayor of Big Apple does not have his own avatar yet, but he's using AI to make robot phone calls.
This is happening in the US. That's the mayor of New York. This is not some small Oklahoma City. This is New York City mayor using robocalls and looking to start his own avatar AI. And I think that's going to lead the forefront, but I also can only imagine 5 years from now, for example, every mayor is going to have their own AI, robot, whatever, because you're going to just have to compete. There's no other way. If I have this AI mayor going around, the AI mayor can go around everywhere. You can reach every computer, right? If you haven't seen one of my videos where I talk about how computers work, I show this map because computers work is the craziest concept. A lot of people don't think about. You just click on your computer, go on a website, whatever, use it for very limited things. But if you just understand that computers is simply, or the internet essentially is just your computer connected to my computer from wherever you are through a lot of computers. That's all that is. It's just a network of connected computers. But imagine having an AI avatar of yourself. You can essentially be in every computer. You can go everywhere. You can go in places and campaign where no one else can. If you're not, being shared on a Facebook or whatever, you can go anywhere. You can be in every app that allows you to, right? There's no place untouched. So you can see how this will be highly adapted, especially by people like mayors, governors, or whatever, because they want popularity. They want to be liked. They want to be voted for. They're probably going to be the quickest people to adopt this.
The voice deepfake has the mayor's voice and tone, and now New Yorkers are confused about why Eric Adams is talking to them in Mandarin and Yiddish. Sounds incredibly funny.
Now that's that one part I'm talking about. You can reach anybody now as an AI avatar. If I want the Hispanic vote, I'll do all my ads in Spanish. I want the Vietnamese vote, I will do all of my ads in Vietnamese, etc. Like you can reach almost every type of population in the US because the US is a giant melting pot of a lot of people. And recently, a lot more people have been added to that melting pot. And so you're going to have to communicate with these people, because not a lot of these people want to learn English. Like, I'm somebody that had to learn English when I moved to the States from Congo a very, very long time ago, but I had to learn English. And I have, cousins and uncles, and even my parents are low adoption on English. They really don't speak any English and don't prefer to. So if I think about that, it's very hard as a, mayor or some kind of politician to advertise to my mom unless you're like using some simple things she could understand, like more money on taxes, but you're not really going to get to her because you have to translate and use a different language. Now, being able to use a different language, I could talk to anybody exactly how they want to hear it and say anything.
But there are ethical concerns here. How identical is too identical? This raises questions about copyright and ownership. Also, when is it appropriate for you to use AI? Can employees use AI avatars for office meetings?
Now, she only asked that question about employees or employers, because the other question is a little too negative. What if you got one of these videos from your employer, but they're telling you that your job has been ended? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, thank you for joining us and for all these years. Thank you for your service. And we will be letting you go in this division. We'll see you later. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, what if you got that video from your employer? That's not gonna feel too good. Y'all not even gonna send me a real person. I'm just gonna talk to AI. You know what I mean? And the worst part is the AI can answer your questions. Like, if you actually had a question like, why am I being let go? Well, see, the division is not making any money. Like, dang, the AI is answering too. That's messed up. I think that's messed up. That should be outlawed.
Can you send an AI avatar to your own court hearing?
She said, "Can you send the avatar to your own court hearing?" Now, I know a lot of people that I grew up with back in them neighborhoods that could have used this technology right about now. You know what I mean? If I don't have to go to court, but my AI can go for me, I kind of like that. That's kind of not that I'm planning on going to court or anything, but just imagine people that go to court for crazy things like divorce. You know what I mean? How crazy is that? Imagine them sending their avatar. Imagine two people sending their avatar in like divorce court. Mind blowing. This might be funny now, but I think the moment it's adopted, there's going to be a lot of backlash. People are probably going to hate it until they can't do nothing about it.
That doesn't sound right, but if it were possible, Donald Trump would be doing it. Also, should governments be using AI? Should influencers? After all, public figures have an unsaid responsibility. They need to interact with the public. Remove that, and you'll be an influencer talking to a brick. But worst of all, what if something goes wrong? What are the consequences? And who
And here we go, where she's talking about the consequences. This would be where American news outlet channels would start the presentation.
takes the responsibility? There are way too many questions, not enough answers. The fact is, AI is just a tool, and an imperfect one at that. It is not human, it lacks judgment, it lacks a moral code, it has limitations. So, delegating to AI will make tasks simpler, but you must know its capabilities, identify the boundaries, and take responsibility.
Now, I'm looking at this and thinking, it being used in a war situation, who is responsible for that news that's going out? If I copy that Ukraine AI spokesperson and I make it say something that is opposite of the government, but they can never see something like that, because it's like in a different country. Who's responsible? Is it the people that wrote the first code or the people that are feeding the news into it? I mean, it's definitely not the AI because the AI is not real. Is it the avatar person holder? No. Who's going to be responsible when somebody copies it and makes it say something? And how do we block people from copying it, or can you block it? And how wild does it have to get before it gets blocked for moments like that?
Once that is clear, maybe an AI avatar can cancel plans on your behalf or laugh at your bad jokes. The opportunities seem endless, but first we must figure out where the boundary lies.
Honestly, I think it's crazy that we've gotten to this point in history this quickly, to where we can use AI generated spokesperson as a representative of a country during a war, a live war. That is crazy to me. I can't say it enough in my head, because a lot of people don't take that big third person overview of everything, just to kind of look at what's going on and really recognize what doors this is going to lead to, what portals will this open, because that's where market opportunity and economics grow from. And if you are paying attention in that form, then you're going to love what's happening. But if you're, worried about losing a job or worried about the negative outcomes, essentially, you're just going to be watching this stuff unfold in front of you and not being able to capitalize from it, but instead just being so upset that it's happening, and fighting it is not really going to be in your best interest. I think capitalizing from it and making sure that you are on the winning side of it is kind of important to take advantage of, to prepare for whatever is coming, because you got to imagine technology like this is going to cause some type of a crash, essentially. As like we saw with the introduction of the internet in the early 2000s, there was a little crash there. But these things always tend to introduce something new, and if you're on the forefront of it, like these type of artists that are taking advantage of it now, if you're a young small artist, with small following, like a million listeners, which is crazy as a small following, then you should be taking advantage of things like this to be in a playground with no competition. Just think about that. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the next video.